The Sodder family story is a reminder of the mysteries that can arise in our own lives and the importance of never giving up in the search for truth. The Fayetteville community continues to remember the missing children and hopes that one day the truth will be revealed. Every year, the community holds vigils in memory of the Sodder children, remembering the tragedy and the hope that one day the truth will be discovered. The Sodder billboard, though no longer standing, remains a symbol of a family's relentless fight for justice. The case of the Sodder children remains one of the most unsettling and perplexing mysteries in history. What do you think? Do you believe the children were kidnapped or that they died in the fire? Thank you for joining us in this chilling story. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave your comments, and share this video with your friends. Until next time, the mystery of the Sodder children, based on true events. On Christmas Eve, 1945, a devastating fire destroyed the Sodder family's home in Fayetteville, West Virginia. 5 of the family's 10 children disappeared without a trace. Despite search efforts and investigations, the fate of the Sodder children remains a mystery. This is the story of that fateful night and the conspiracy theories that have emerged since then. Welcome to our channel. Today, we bring you a story that will give you chills. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon to stay updated. On Christmas Eve 1945, the Sodder family was preparing to celebrate the holidays in their home in Fayetteville, West Virginia. But that night, a devastating fire would change their lives forever. The night of the fire, in the early hours of December 25th, a fire broke out in the Sodder home. George and Jenny Sodder managed to escape along with 4 of their children, but 5 of them were trapped inside. Desperate, George tried to rescue his children, but it was in vain. The ladder that was usually propped against the house had mysteriously disappeared, and the water trucks George tried to use wouldn't start. When the fire finally extinguished, no human remains were found in the debris. Local authorities concluded that the children had died in the fire, but George and Jenny never accepted this explanation. Conspiracy theories. Over the years, numerous conspiracy theories have emerged about the fate of the Sodder children. One of the most unsettling theories suggests that the children were kidnapped and the fire was set to cover up the crime. The Sodder family received several anonymous letters and testimonies from people claiming to have seen the children in different parts of the country. One woman claimed to have seen the children with 2 men and a woman in a hotel in Charleston, West Virginia. George Sodder hired private investigators to follow these leads, but no conclusive evidence was ever found. The family also put up a billboard on the highway with photos of the children and a reward for information. Despite the family's efforts, official investigations made no progress. In 1949, an excavation was conducted at the fire site, but only small bone fragments that could not be identified were found. Forensic experts have debated whether the bones found could belong to the children, but the lack of conclusive evidence has left the case unresolved. The Sodder family never stopped searching for answers and held on to the hope that their children were alive. In 1968, Jenny Sodder received an anonymous letter with a photo of a young man who resembled one of her missing sons, Louis. On the back of the photo was a cryptic message that read, "Louis Sodder, I love brother Frankie, I lil boys. a 90132 or 35 inches. The family hired a private detective to investigate the photo, but the detective disappeared without a trace. This incident only added to the family's mystery and despair. The Sodder billboard remained standing until Jenny's death in 1989. Although the family never found their children, their story remains a reminder of unsolved mysteries and the tragedies that can occur at any moment. Additional theories and new leads. In more recent years, new theories and leads have emerged. Some believe the children were kidnapped by the Italian mafia due to George Sodder's political views, who was an Italian immigrant and a critic of Mussolini's fascist regime. Others suggest that the children were sold to childless families or taken to live in orphanages under false identities. These theories, though unsettling, have not been confirmed. Modern investigators have reviewed old files and records in search of any clues that might shed light on the fate of the Sodder children. However, the mystery persists. The legacy of the Sodder children's mystery has endured over the decades. The family has kept the memory of the missing children alive and continues to search for answers. The Sodder family never stopped searching for answers. They hired private investigators and conducted their own investigations. They discovered that the house's phone line had been cut and that a hard rubber ball, similar to an incendiary bomb, had been found at the fire site. In 1949, George Sodder requested a new investigation and an excavation was conducted at the fire site. Small bone fragments were found, but experts concluded that they did not belong to the missing children. Forensic experts also pointed out that a fire of that magnitude should have left bone remains, which increased suspicions that the children had not died in the fire. Conclusion: the mystery of the Sodder children remains unsolved. Over the years, the family has kept hope alive of finding answers, but the fate of the 5 missing children remains shrouded in shadows and unanswered questions. The Sodder family story is a reminder of the mysteries that can arise in our own lives and the importance of never giving up in the search for truth. The Fayetteville community continues to remember the missing children and hopes that one day the truth will be revealed. Every year, the community holds vigils in memory of the Sodder children, remembering the tragedy and the hope that one day the truth will be discovered. The Sodder billboard, though no longer standing, remains a symbol of a family's relentless fight for justice. The case of the Sodder children remains one of the most unsettling and perplexing mysteries in history. What do you think? Do you believe the children were kidnapped or that they died in the fire? Thank you for joining us in this chilling story. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, leave your comments, and share this video with your friends. Until next